Today, my mum, 60, and stepdad, 53, called and asked me, 27 female, to do them a financial favor that made me feel really uncomfortable. I told them I needed time to think about it and research it first. My mum became angry and said that if I said no, it would be a really big problem for her. I said I just needed to look into it first, and she hung up on me. I could hear my stepdad in the background, so I called him a few minutes later, hoping for more context. He was also pissed, and, among other things, told me I was ungrateful for not doing my mum one favor after all she has done for me, and that I must be bad at my job because I clearly panic at the slightest concern. I was completely calm, if confused and affronted for the record. Frustrated at being berated, I ended the call. I texted them a few minutes later and offered some proposed other solutions over text. They responded, "You're worthless to us at this stage, just let it go." I texted back and said, "Okay, just trying to help." They have not responded or reached out since then. What should my next step be? I don't want this to permanently damage our relationship, but at the same time I feel that they really overreacted to me saying I needed time to look into it more, and I am hurt that they told me I am worthless to them now. How they treat you is absolutely unacceptable, and it genuinely hurts my heart that you're trying so hard to save this relationship with them when they're clearly just awful. I don't know what this favor is, but I have a feeling it involves you giving them money you'd never be getting back. Don't let them emotionally blackmail you into giving them anything. OP needs to lock their credit down and put passwords in. They may just do it and say, well, we needed it. These parents are trying to scam her. If it was a normal financial favor and she said, I need to think about it, they would have said, thank you for considering it. Please let us know as soon as possible. Instead, they flip out and call her worthless. Okay? She's worthless. She's got no money for them to scam. Bye. The minute they flipped out because you wanted to think about it, the answer would be a firm and loud no. You have to look out for you first. They obviously could care less about you and your financial liquidity. They only see you as an ATM machine. They're telling you your only value to them is financial. They're emotionally blackmailing you and guilt-tripping you so you'll cave. Don't let them go. They don't care about you or your feelings. They don't care if their request makes you uncomfortable. Don't reach out to them. If they keep asking you, no is a complete answer. My female 19 biological mum is 35. My dad is 45. Words cannot express how I'm feeling. If you do the math, you'll see that my bio mum was 16 and my father was 26 when I was born. I never knew this, so I'm really disappointed at the moment. I never really knew my mum. She and my dad split when I was 3 and the memories I have of her are very distant. My dad remarried when I was 6 to my stepmom, 42, and together they had 3 more kids. In my household it was no step or half. We were simply just family. Did I ever wonder about my bio mom? Yes and no. I was raised in a tight-knit home, so I never felt like I was really missing something because my stepmom also raised me. But I sometimes wondered about the woman who I'm supposedly a carbon copy of. My dad rarely talked about my mum. From what I knew, they got married when they found out she was pregnant and she left. I reached out first and we met up for the first time last week. I was so nervous. I felt like I made a mistake, but she explained to me her story. My mum was a troubled teen and she left home. She and Dad met when my mum was 15, shortly after she ran away from home. He offered her a place to stay, and it wasn't long before they started a relationship. She said that she was miserable at the time. She didn't want a baby. She didn't want to be married, and she realized she made a mistake. She said the marriage was so bad and it was really unhealthy. So one day, at the same exact age I am right now, she left. She moved back home and restarted her life. I'm so angry. I'm so angry about so many things. I was groomed when I was 14 by an adult, and luckily my dad caught the situation fairly early before any serious damage could happen. The way my dad handled it was amazing, yet it turns out he is the same exact person I escaped. And also I'm regretting meeting my mum. I keep dodging text messages, which isn't fair as I'm the one who reached out to her, but I'm regretting it. Why did I find it necessary to meet a person that didn't go looking for me? It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I don't know how to process this wave of emotions. How do I? The person that I usually go to for advice on things is my dad. But what can I do now that I can't even go to him? I've been doing well, you know. I've been in therapy since my early teens, but as of 2 years ago I've been doing so well. Now, it feels like I'm in a rut. It feels like I'm mad at everyone, and all the angry emotions are just piling on. How do I process everything? Oh, honestly, this is therapy-level stuff. This is really messed up. It's okay to dodge calls at the moment. You need time to process. Did your dad know you were getting in contact and meeting with your bio-mum? OP replied, no, he didn't. I didn't tell him or my stepmom. If you want to be decent, send your bio-mum a quick message saying thanks for meeting you and that you need some space to process what you learned. You definitely need to find someone to talk to. This is a really messed up situation. I'm sorry. OP replied, I decided to send her a message. I did want to call, but I just wouldn't know what to say. I basically said that it was great meeting her, but I just need some time to think about some things. Okay, sweetheart, you're doing the best you can. I'm sorry you're going through this. Take your time. If you can make time to check in with bio-mum in a few weeks if you're still processing. Process as long as you need to, and if you want a quick thanks again for being patient with me, goes a long way. She may be the one person to understand how you feel about these things that you can go to. As a mother, I'd want my daughter to talk to me about anything bothering her, and I wouldn't judge her one bit. It's always more worry than anything. I wish you the best. OP. Also, please reach out if you need help. I ran from home at 19 and have struggled and dealt with men far older than a young woman should be talking to. If you're doubting yourself, read these comments again. You have every right to feel how you're feeling. Let the emotions flow. Good luck. Love, a Reddit mama. My wife 25 and I 26, male, have been together for 5 years and married for 3 years. Everything was good until now, despite some ups and downs. However, what happened with her really broke me apart, and honestly, I have no idea how to approach this at all. My wife and I are going to the same orthodontist. He is doing a good job and he is friendly with both of us. He is checking up on us to see if our ortho treatment is going well. After her last tightening at the office, she texted him to ask for some information about her braces. Since then, they have been texting for a very long time, to the point that it started to make me uncomfortable the moment I checked her phone. They were talking about personal stuff like pets and future plans and laughing together, and I told her to try to slow it down as it was starting to get weird. She got offended a bit, but then said that she will stop. I, however, found out later that she did not stop at all. They kept texting each other, as I even found out some disturbing texts, "You are the cutest patient I have," and so on. I confronted her about this and said that she didn't realize how it turned, as she just thought he was friendly. She told me once more that she will stop, and even blocked his number and deleted the conversation in front of me. Unfortunately, it turned out to be a ruse, as they kept texting for a few days, and she was more and more on her phone, except that this time it looks like she made sure to never keep the conversation with him on her phone. It started to be really hard to handle when one day, when she had an appointment with him at his cabinet, I could hear them giggling and laughing from the waiting room. I would even say flirting, but I couldn't tell for certain as the door was closed. If it was only that, it would be devastating enough, but unfortunately the cherry on the cake was the message I found from him on her phone while she was sleeping. "Morning, sweetie, make sure to wear that tight blouse today." This left me in shock. I've never felt humiliated and disrespected. I keep wondering why things went this wrong. Our relationship seemed to be good. I made many sacrifices for her and spoiled her, to betrayed in the most pathetic way ever. Maybe she fell for his look. Very athletic, black hair with green eyes. Maybe it's something else? I don't know. All I know is that I don't know at all how to proceed and what to do. I am boiling with rage at the moment, but I don't want to act on an impulse. I am seriously considering screenshotting everything and making a complaint to get him fired. You should definitely screenshot their conversation and file a complaint to his boss. Why should you do this? It's the last ditch to save your marriage and other people's relationships. If he's doing this to you, he's doing it to another. This man has no respect. Also, you should consider talking to your wife about boundaries and the repercussion, which is divorce. You should report it to the governing bodies for his profession in most cases, and most countries he could lose his license to practice for having an affair with a patient. I disagree. It's over. He already talked to her about this issue multiple times. She had so many chances to think about how her husband feels and put a stop to it. Instead, she played the naive card and continued the affair. Sometimes even while her husband was on the other side of the door. There's no coming back from this level of betrayal. My 25 male girlfriend, 24, had an argument and was talking and she got upset. I got up to get water and she followed me and started pushing me. I told her to stop and she continued and kept talking. She punched my arm and started digging her nails and I told her to F off and she said I was being rude and not answering her. I told her I don't care and she has to stop scratching me and she punched my arm again. I responded by punching her arm back and she started crying. She said I'm a horrible man because I am stronger than her. Fair enough, but I warned her multiple times. And I didn't hit her because of anger issues or because of the fight. I only did it because she wouldn't leave me alone. She said I'm a lot bigger than her and she's too small to cause pain. Sure, her punches are painless, but she broke the skin on my arm with her nails. There's a bunch of red marks. I did not even punch her with all my actual strength. You need to get out of this relationship unless you want to end up in handcuffs. Not even playing. Your relationship is now abusive and toxic. Get it together and leave. Take a picture of the nail marks. Start recording any further interactions with her and leave. I second this. She sounds like the type to call the police on you and say you put your hands on her first, coming from a woman run. This is literally how one of my best friends got a DV charge. His girlfriend started hitting him and blocked him from leaving to work. He grabbed her arms and moved her to the side to leave and had cops show up at work. For what it's worth, that girlfriend allowed their children to be touched inappropriately by the new boyfriend who came.